And welcome to Carroll Stadium in Alliance, where today it's NCAA Division III playoff action. It's round 3 as John Carroll takes on Mount Union. I'm Dave Sheets along with Harry Paytas, and we have an exciting matchup here today. Harry, first of all, let's talk about these two outstanding coaches.
Two very good coaches, and they're familiar with their teams because they went to their schools that they represent. And there you have Jeff Behrman, who is in his 3rd season at John Carroll. He previously had 7 years as the head coach at Union, but he's really familiar with Mount Union, having coached against them. Here's Jeff Dart, the head coach of the Mount Union Purple Raiders, undefeated in the OAC, 67-4 overall. And again, he's very familiar with John Carroll. There will be no mystery here this afternoon.
And Harry, these two programs, as you mentioned, know each other very well, not only as former league rivals, but playoff rivals as well.
They are indeed. In fact, last year they met, and in the second round of the playoffs, Mount Union opened the game a 14-play drive with a Tyler Echeverry touchdown. But John Carroll on an opening drive was stripped by Caleb Brown, and Rossi Moore recovered, took the ball into the end zone to take a 14-0 lead. John Carroll, though, answered a 13-yard touchdown pass to make the game 14-7. But from there, the Mount Union defense took over and shut down the Blue Streaks. Meanwhile, the Mount offense moved the ball through the air and on the ground, scoring 28 more unanswered points to win the game 42-7 and move on.
John Carroll won the toss and elected to receive, so they will get the football first. Set to kick off for the Purple Raiders, number 6, Connell Rafferty, freshman kicker.
As you noticed there, Dave, we had this problem last week with the wind. He set the ball up on the tee and had it knocked out, but the wind doesn't seem to be quite as bad here at Carroll Stadium this afternoon. It's coming from the west, so it's blowing across the field, and it's just going to be kind of a toss-up as to which goal you want to defend. But John Carroll won that toss, and they said, hey, our offense is going to take the ball first.
And temperatures in the low 30s as we get set. We're underway here at Carroll Stadium. On the return, this is Kimba. And Kimba with a pretty decent return out near the 30-yard line there. The Blue Streaks will start 1st and 10.
Yeah, Ricky Williams making the stop. Otherwise, a pretty good return, pretty good field position for a high-powered John Carroll offense. And we talked about it a little bit off camera, but this quarterback matchup is quite the thing.
Graduate Nick Semptenfelder, 6'1", 220 pounds, out of Franklin, Tennessee, leads this offense. 30 touchdowns, 3 interceptions as you take a look at his numbers. Nearly 2,800 yards passing.
And he played in 2 games against Mount Union last year, and he can do it all.
And Semptenfelder going to throw on 1st down. Here comes pressure, and he is going to go down back inside the 25-yard line.
But here is what's going to be key in this game, exactly what you just saw. If they can put the pressure on him and he can't find his talented receivers, then it's going to be a long afternoon. So Mount opening statement here by the defense with a sack.
You can see that defensive line just kind of crushed in that circle around him. He had nowhere to go. Second down and 16, a 6-yard loss.
Good coverage downfield, too. Didn't give him enough time to set his feet.
Quincy Newsome is the running back off the right side of Semptenfelder on 2nd down. Fire middle, and it's caught out near the 40. It's going to be a 1st down for John Carroll on the receiving end. That is number 2, junior wide receiver Shane Lindstrom.
And here's the JCU offense. Their wide receivers are Montgomery, Nelson, and Lindstrom. The tight end is Rawls. Up front they go Council, Damer, O'Rourke, McKinnon, and Murkowski. Running back is Nemo Jenkins, and Nick Semptenfelder is the quarterback. And he makes up for the sack with a completion for 1st down.
Yeah, they complete that pass. 1st and 10 now at the 42 for John Carroll. Fake and a toss. Catch is made across the 45 and then slung down on the reception. Wide receiver Taron Montgomery, who's had a huge year for John Carroll.
And here's the Mount Union defense. Logan, Bowden, Ganelli, Brown, Reinert, Cruz, Arthur, Thrasivulu, Liebler, Nye, and Cooper. And they're going to have their hands full, but they have been an outstanding unit throughout the season and into the playoffs.
That was a 4-yard completion. It is 2nd and 6 at the 46 of John Carroll. And it's going to be Felder faking, throwing, and he'll throw it away.
Yeah, they wanted to go out into the flat, but Mount had that very well covered. And he really didn't have much of a choice other than to throw it out of bounds, and a wise choice at that. He's a veteran quarterback. He's going to do the right things. Play fake into the flat it was intended, but Mount had it covered and he threw it away. And the one thing John Carroll doesn't want is a strip sack or an interception early, because Mount set the tone in the playoff game last year and it went on to the 42-7 win.
Yeah, these are two high-powered offenses, so the defenses are going to have to make a stand today. It is 3rd and 6 at the 46. Mount showing possible blitz. Felder to throw. Middle, it is caught. That is Montgomery on the reception. He is going to be short of the first down by about a yard, just near the 49 of Mount Union.
Well, decision time early here for the Blue Streaks, and it looks like they're going to play field position as the punt unit is coming in. But of course, at this point on the field, you might be thinking about the fake too. But here's the throw across the middle, and a good, strong tackle there by Levat to drop him short of the front stick.
This is senior Owen Schuckert, the punter for John Carroll. 22 punts on the season and averaging over 39 yards per kick. Near midfield, gets it away. Fair catch is called for and made at the 15-yard line. And on the punt catch there is Mason Ashby for the Purple Raiders.
Ashby's been a really good punt returner. He wisely makes the fair catches, or if he feels like he's got some room, he goes, and that was a wise call right there. There's Mikey Maloney, the quarterback for Mount Union, and his numbers in the passing category. You see over 2,500 yards passing, 30 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and he runs the football effectively as well. There's his numbers there: 55 attempts, 420 yards, 11 touchdowns rushing. He was involved in all but one of the touchdowns last week in the 49-7 win.
1st and 10, Mount Union at the 15, and Maloney to throw. Down the middle, has a man wide open. It is caught, and on his way, Nick Turner. That is going to be 75 yards and a touchdown on the first play for the Purple Raiders.
Looking for flags, there are none, and the home run ball on the first play from scrimmage works. Boy, was he open there. There must have been a breakdown in coverage.
Yeah, you got to think so on that one.
But get an idea of Maloney's arm, though, too. He just has the time, and Turner wide. Oh, there wasn't anybody within 15 yards of it. What a beauty.
Purple Raiders break out on top here early in this ball game. Ivan Maric on to attempt the extra point. It's the second leading scorer in the OAC with 94 points on the year. Snap is good, hold is good, kick is up, and it is good.
Well, 11:56 remaining in the first quarter, and we didn't even have a time to set the offense for Mount Union and the defense for John Carroll, and the Raiders connect on an 85-yarder, a home run ball to start their first play from scrimmage, and what a start.
And that's the man of the hour right there, Nick Turner, the 5'8" senior out of Strongsville High School in Dallas, Texas.
Well, we're talking a little bit about, getting the advantage and creating something early, because the team that gets up early tends to have that momentum, and boy, you couldn't ask for more. I'm sure this was drawn up well before it was called.
Not your simple off tackle run on first down.
Exactly. And so Mount Union off to a 7-0 start, but we've got a long way to go in this one.
It'll be Rafferty teeing up the ball again for the Purple Raiders. Dave Sheets and Harry Paytas with you here today for this round 3 playoff game here at Carroll Stadium in Alliance, Ohio.
Well, Mount Union's defense did its job, and now it's called upon again. They didn't get much of a rest, but they'll take it because now they're staked to a lead.
Right. One play, 75-yard touchdown pass. This is fielded at the 15 on the return. out across the 25. That was number 31 for the Blue Streaks, and that is Cohen Climack out of Streetsboro. So it'll be first down and 10. John Carroll near the 27.
You know, you don't do anything differently, even though you're down 7-0. Stay with the game plan. Very early in the contest, they moved the ball pretty well. Got some yardage on passing plays.
Septenfelder gives off straight ahead. And a couple of yards into the middle of that Mount Union defense. It looked like Quincy Newsom, number 21. Newsom came in averaging over 6 yards a carry, 6 rushing touchdowns.
There's Newsom's numbers with 581 yards, 6 touchdowns. They'll use Newsom and also Nemo Jenkins. They'll try to keep defenses honest with their running game. I mean, they run the ball effectively, but they move the ball significantly with the pass.
Gain of 3 on that carry, 2nd and 7, ball at 30. Septenfelder looks over the defense. Listed at 6'1", 220. Fire, he's got a man open and out near midfield. It's a first down, and the reception made by number 2, Shane Lindstrom.
And the key there was time. Septenfelder was in the pocket for a long time. They double-teamed Brown. You can see that at the bottom of your screen. He couldn't get in there, and just a great job by the John Carroll offensive line. Gives Septenfelder the time to find his receiver and gets it into Mount Union territory. Lindstrom with 33 catches, 442 yards, and 3 touchdowns on the season.
Well, this is exactly where the opening drive died, at the Mount Union 49. It's 1st and 10 now for the Blue Streaks. Man in motion, and Septenfelder to throw. He's being chased, rolling, throws, and broken up down near the 35-yard line. Pass was intended for number 29. That's Grant Koza.
Connor Edelman with the breakup. Good coverage on the play, but also good pressure as they had Bowden had Septenfelder on the run, having to roll to his right and throw that way.
Pretty good coverage there.
And good pressure, and we mentioned pressure is going to be important. Both teams, they're going to have to pressure the quarterback to have success, because these guys, you give them the time, they're going to find the open receiver.
2nd down and 10 at the Mount Union 49. Quick toss left side, catch is made, and then knocked out of bounds on the receiving end. That is Tyron Montgomery.
Tasivulu on the coverage. Gave him a little bit of a cushion, but then made a nice strong tackle out of bounds. There's Montgomery's numbers, 90 receptions for 1172 and 14 touchdowns. So we keep throwing up these numbers, and John Carroll has the receivers. We talk about how Mount Union has depth, and John Carroll has depth as well.
It is 3rd and 5 now for the Blue Streaks at the Purple Raiders 44. Jenkins, the running back, in the backfield with Septenfelder. Mount Union showing possible blitz. Here they come. He'll throw and sails it high over his intended receiver. Pass was intended for number 29, Grant Koza. It'll be 4th and 5.
So he picked up the blitz, and Septenfelder just sailed the pass. And again, the punt unit's going to come out with a 4th and 5. They're trying to play field position. It didn't work so well on the first series because Mount hit the bomb, but John Carroll is going to make Mount's offense work for it, putting a lot of confidence in its defense.
Schuckert is in punt formation right about his 45. A high kick. Ashby's going to let it go and bounce into the end zone for a touchback.
So Mount's defense bends but does not break on both of those series. And let's take a look at the offense, which we didn't have a chance to do because of the last drive, which was 1 play. Nick Turner, Grant, Cockrell on the wideouts. Tight end is Wyatt Steele. Up front, it's Favre, Kennedy, Lavelle, Fortner, Coffey, and the running back Darnell Williams with Mikey Maloney at the quarterback spot. And there's Jeff Dart, head coach of the Purple Raiders, who has gotten his team off to a 7-0 start.
Maloney, a 6'1", 195-pound redshirt freshman out of Painesville, Riverside. in Northeast Ohio. There's a handoff straight ahead, and there is running room for Darnell Williams. He's going to have a first down, I believe, out across the 30.
Good blocking up front by the Raiders. Let's set the defense for John Carroll. They go with Day, Timmons, Wasinski, Blasini, Golson, Russ, Grobelsek, Huffnagel, Krasai, Germano, and Thomas. In the past with John Carroll's names, it was always a little bit of a crapshoot, but these were a little bit easier to pronounce.
It's a first down and 10 for the Purple Raiders at their own 31. Maloney guns it right side, catch is made out near the 35, chased out of bounds on the receiving end. That is number 4, Jacob Cockrell.
So they like to spread things around. Cockrell with 41 receptions, 635 yards, 5 touchdowns. Short pickup on that pass play, but a pickup nonetheless. And of course, that's what you want. You want 4 or 5 yards on first down.
This time they'll give him 3, and the ball is marked at the 34. So we're looking at a 2nd and 7 play. Shift for the offense, and Maloney, empty backfield, throws, and it is caught out across the 40, close to the 45-yard line. That is Davion Grant with the reception. The junior wideout with the catch, and it's a first down.
John Carroll showed blitz, but then they stepped back. They brought their linebackers back, but Grant was still able to find a spot in the middle of the field and pick up the first down. Grant, leading receiver as far as yardage with 47 catches, 851 yards, and 8 touchdowns.
Ball is at the 44. It's a 1st and 10 for Mount Union. Give to Williams again. He's got a hole up the middle, carries into John Carroll territory out near the 48-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd and short.
Well, Williams has been a very versatile running back. He catches the ball well too, and he often does not make it between the tackles. He'll start there maybe and then dart it to the outside, but that time offensive line created the hole between the tackles and he took advantage. 140 carries, 1134 as far as yardage, 10 touchdowns coming in.
2nd and 2, ball at the John Carroll 48. Give to Williams again, falls forward close to that first down marker at the 46. Signal is a first down for the Purple Raiders.
Got just enough. He knew where he needed to go, gave it that little dive at the end, and that's what got him the first down. Probably don't want to make a living doing it that way, but dive right there over the pile. Gets the first down.
So they've moved it out from their own 20 now into John Carroll territory at the 46 with a new set of downs. Williams remains the running back behind Maloney. Maloney to throw, chased, throws down the field and over the head of everyone near the 20-yard line. The closest defender for John Carroll was number 36, William Hanson.
Now the pressure of that time forced the longer throw by Maloney. He still tried to set his feet. Watch him as he's being pursued. He knows he's going to get hit, but he does get a lot on the football. But I think basically he was throwing it away because nobody was open downfield. Good coverage sack and good pursuit by John Carroll on that play.
That was actually the sophomore Adam Lecart back there. Number 35 ended up being the closest to that throw. 2nd and 10 at the 46. It's Williams again, left side. And he'll get a couple as he carries to the 44. So a long 3rd down play coming up for the Purple Raiders.
I haven't had this situation yet, but given the spot on the field, depending on how much yardage is picked up here or not picked up, will determine whether it's 4 down territory.
Wind blowing that football off the spot a little bit at the 44. It is 3rd down and 8 now. Long look at that sideline for redshirt freshman quarterback Mikey Maloney.
Play clock's running down. He's only got about 7 seconds. And now I think John Carroll's going to call the timeout.
Timeout. John Carroll. First charge timeout of the half.
Well, Jeff Dart's going to use the opportunity to consult with the offense as they were looking to the sideline to try to determine this call. And it's a big play. I mean, it's early in the contest, obviously, but John Carroll does not want to go down 2 scores in the first quarter here at Carroll Stadium. While we have the chance, let's take a look at the AFCA poll. And this is the top 10. North Central right there at the top. They're the defending champs. Followed by Mount, and then Bethel, River Falls, Wartburg, St. John's, Christopher Newport, John Carroll there at number 8. Salisbury and DePauw. A number of those teams already out of the picture. But Mount Union and John Carroll, two former conference rivals, were destined to meet each other, I think, in the playoffs.
And Harry, the winner of today advances to the quarterfinals against the winner of Trinity, Texas, and Berry.
Yeah. So Berry would be a new opponent for Mount Union, but Trinity is a team that they defeated in a previous Stag Bowl.
It is 3rd and 8 now as we reset at the John Carroll 44-yard line.
Also, yeah, thinking about Trinity, we played them in the semifinals in '98 as well.
Maloney throws, and the catch is made down near the 35-yard line. That's going to be a first down, and it's Nick Turner on the receiving end of that one, the leading receiver for the Purple Raiders.
So Mount using the middle of the field prior to this. Turner with a nice pattern, a quick out, and it's enough for the first down. Turner coming in with 51 receptions, 765 yards, and 6 touchdowns. Those receivers have some big numbers.
1st and 10 at the John Carroll 34, and a defensive play made by John Carroll as the running back is stopped for a 2-yard loss. That was number 25, Sean Thomas.
A little bit of razzle-dazzle here, and he is a magician, Maloney, at times. Sometimes he fakes out cameras and everybody else. That time, though, John Carroll knew what they were doing, and stop was made.
Thomas a little bit bigger back than is Williams. 2nd and 12 at the 36. Maloney rolling and looking. Now he'll keep. And Maloney carries down to the 29-yard line, where it'll be a 3rd and 5 play to come up now for the Purple Raiders.
And again, a 3rd down where you're probably looking at 2 possible downs to pick up the yardage. Maloney does this well. He can fake to his running backs and take it himself.
The thing that was great there, Harry, was it was decisive. He went for the run almost immediately, like he knew it was going to be there for him.
Yeah. Chris Golson, who we'll see a lot of, number 2, made that tackle. Otherwise, it would have been first down yardage.
3rd down and 5 at the 29 of John Carroll. And the running back gets taken down at the 26.
That was Thomas.
Thomas on the carry. So now Mount Union looking at a 4th and 2.
So the 4th down conversions. The things that I always look at in these playoff games is turnovers. Who's going to win the turnover battle, and how are you going to convert on 4th down? Are you going to do it or not? And here we have our first one of the afternoon.
Ball at the 26. Thomas remains in at running back. And in motion. Maloney in trouble. Now dumps it off. It's going to be awful close. Knocked out of bounds just inside the 25.
Depends on the mark. They do mark it with the ball nosing the 24. And I believe it'll be a first down.
He just got it. Cockrell with the effort. Able to reach out, got enough for that first down at the 24.
Now this is great improv by Maloney. He wants to run, but nope, it's not there. And meanwhile, Cockrell has floated out into the flat and gets just enough for the first down.
It was close. Hand off, and the running back scooting through there. That is Williams. Williams to the 19. That's a gain of 5 on first down. Nice pickup for the Purple Raiders there.
Again, the between the tackles runner is often Thomas, but Williams is doing it here this afternoon. He's had a couple of nice runs to set up a 2nd and manageable.
This has been a long drive for the Purple Raiders. Started back at their 20 after a John Carroll punt. This is Williams sweeping left, and he is knocked down for a big time loss back near the 25.
Well, that was a great play there by Casson. It looked like Williams can usually juke a defender like that, but there was no juking. He went directly for the legs and brought him down for a big loss.
It was Golson who broke through and forced Williams to the outside, and then Krasai was able to clean up. Nice open field tackle.
So now Mount looking at a 3rd and 10. They are in Marish's field goal range. They want to settle for 3 if they don't have to. It'll be determined by this play.
Maloney to throw. Here comes pressure. Steps up, and he'll be dragged down close to the 24-yard line. A gain of a yard, maybe to the 23.
So let's see what Coach Duck decides to do here. The wind is a factor. It is blowing right to left, so it will come into play for a kicker who will be attempting a 40-yarder, maybe 41. Let's see where they're going. I'd call it more like 40.
His long this season is 47, so it is within his range typically. 10 out of 13 on the year for Ivan Marish. From 40 yards out. On its way. Plenty of leg, but off to the left, no good.
Well, it sure looked good, but it did not. It might have even been pushed by the wind. I don't know, but it was a good attempt. The John Carroll defense holds. They're pretty happy with what they were able to do after a long Mount Union drive that results in 0 points.
Well, there's a bend but don't break philosophy there on that defensive stand, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Inside a minute to go in this opening quarter, with Mount Union on top 7-0 over John Carroll. So after the missed field goal, the 23-yard line is the starting point for this drive for the Blue Streaks. And there's a handoff and running room out across the 30, 35. And on that carry, Cohen Climack, the freshman running back out of Streetsboro.
Yeah, Climack it was like he was playing possum. It was almost like, oh, am I supposed to get the ball? And then he does get the ball, and of course they've done the blocking for him, and makes a good strong run and picks up first down yardage.
From the 36 now, 1st and 10. Climack remains at running back. Toss to him right side. 35, keeps his feet inbounds till he is shoved out close to the 40.
A nice job of dancing down the sideline to pick up an extra yard or 2.
That's the end of the first quarter.
And that will do it for the first quarter. The excitement was the first play from scrimmage for Mount Union on the long touchdown pass. Meanwhile, the defenses have come up to stop the offenses, and we'll be back from Carroll Stadium. Mount Union leading at 7-0 after 1. Ready for quarter number 2. John Carroll with the football, looking at a 2nd and 8 from its own 38-yard line.
Quarterback Nick Semptenfelder leading this offense. Puts a man in motion on 2nd down. Handoff, middle, wide open. Catch is made out across the 45. Kenneth Rawls, the tight end, with the grab for the Blue Streaks. That's a first down.
Down across the middle, Jerry Cooper giving the coverage, but just a little late. That makes a good sure tackle, but John Carroll picks up the first down. Mount Union had the wings pretty well covered on that play, and they sent him across the middle for first down yardage.
Rawls a big target there, 6'4", 230 pounds.
Yeah, he's got 516 yards in receptions.
First down at the 46. And on the carry, trying to get outside and nowhere to go for Climac, the running back. He'll lose a yard.
Cooper, Renard, and joined by Cruz at the end of the play for the loss of yardage.
Keenan Cruz came in as the leading tackler on this Mount Union defense with 66 for the senior linebacker.
And there's Reinhardt's numbers, 28 tackles, 25, no, is that 2.5, I'm sorry, for loss, and 2 pass breakups. That'd be quite a few tackles for loss.
That's a great season. That's a great career.
Right.
Second and 11 at the 45, pass over the middle and into Mount Union territory. It's another first down catch for the tight end, Kenneth Rawls.
I had a feeling we'd be seeing a lot of that tight end, Kenneth Rawls, because he is
for a helmet off an offensive player.
He is
Number 13
big. Now,
must leave the game for a play.
He's going to have to come out because the helmet came off after this catch, but he's going to be a handful because his size alone gives you problems, and not to mention the fact that he's got good hands.
At the 42 now of Mount Union. Purple Raiders lead it 7-0. Quarter number 2 just underway from Carroll Stadium here in Alliance. Climac remains the running back. And Septon to throw again down the sideline, has a man, and it's incomplete. Pretty good coverage back there, and the pass was intended for number 29, Grant Koza.
Trasivulu was there, and they were one-on-one. Now did a flag come in? Because they're conferring, but I don't see the flag.
I do, right near midfield.
Okay.
Personal foul, legal hands to the face. Offense number 77, 15-yard penalty, replay the down.
Well, given that that's a 15-yarder, even on the incompletion, you're going to want to take that penalty because it sends John Carroll back down to their side of the 50.
Let's see if we can pick this up.
Is it there at the bottom of your screen, I believe, and again, you look at the coverage by Trasivulu, and it sets up a 1st and 25 now for John Carroll.
From the 43 for the Blue Streaks. Going to be Septon-Felder keeping it and getting a short gain to the 45. Not much there as Logan makes the stop for the Purple Raiders.
Good read there by Logan. Septon-Felder was thinking he could get away. He's tough to bring down solo, but Logan was able to grab him. Here's his numbers. As he's got 26 tackles and 7.5 of those for loss and 4 sacks.
That was a gain of 2. It's second down at 23 from the 45. Septon-Felder looks over the defense, now gets the snap. Here comes pressure. Ball is hit, knocked out of the arms of the quarterback. There's a scramble for it. Mount Union says we have it. Let's wait and see.
They do have it. Whether it's a fumble or not is the question. It's Weston Arthur coming up with that loose ball, but was it an incompletion or a fumble?
And I think we have a flag on the play as well, or a marker where the fumble took place. I'm not sure.
That is a flag, and they are talking things over. There's no question about the fact that Mount recovered. Now, whether what the flag is about and whether or not they were ruling his arm going forward is what's being debated, I believe.
Harry, was that Caleb Brown who broke through and knocked it loose?
I believe it was.
What a season he's had.
Oh yeah, and of course he was the game changer in the playoff game last year. Let's see, let's get an idea here.
Rolling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 33 of the defense. 15-yard penalty from the spot of recovery. It'll be first down at 10, Mount Union.
Okay, so Mount gets the ball, but they don't get it at the spot of recovery. There's a 15-yard penalty tacked on. Let's look again. And it is Brown. Yeah, and he got his wrist before the ball went forward. And of course, Caleb Brown had the strip sack that led to a 14-0 lead for Mount Union last year. Rossi Moore picked it up and took it in. In this case, Mount gets the ball, and they hurt themselves with an unsportsmanlike, but nonetheless, they have it at their own 42-yard line.
So a big penalty and then a turnover stops that drive for the Blue Streaks, who had something going. It's 1st and 10, Purple Raiders. And straight ahead, nice run out near midfield on the carry, Sean Thomas for Mount Union.
And Sean Thomas gives you that little bit of extra size when you can run the ball between the tackles. Picked up about 8. And he'll come out of the game, but he's got 333 yards coming in. And he will be replaced by Darnell Williams in the backfield.
That was an 8-yard pickup on 1st down, ball right at midfield for Mount Union. 2nd down and 2. This is Williams. Williams finds a seam, and he is all the way down near the 42. And I think you're going to get a face mask.
Yeah, late flag, which that would be the indication, I would think. The line judge here threw it.
He had the best view. It's going to be a face mask against John Carroll. 2 critical penalties here in the last couple minutes, along with that turnover, obviously.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 9. Penalty for 15 yards from the end of the run, automatic, 1st down.
So that takes Mount into 4-down territory now. As their 2nd drive of the game was a beauty. Oh, there you see it. Great shot, guys. Of the face mask. Good call by the side judge who made that call. And now Mount Union in business at the John Carroll 27-yard line.
Coming up on 11 minutes to go in the first half. Purple Raiders leading it 7-0. And a 1st and 10 at the 27. This is Williams again trying to sweep outside, and he is cut down. That is not Williams this time. That is Minner, his first carry, Caden Minner.
And a nice stop by Lamar Thomas, making a solo tackle. Minner has been a very fine running back for Mount. He gives them a lot of depth. Just couldn't quite turn the corner there as that carry results in no gain.
And what a luxury when you have 3 quality backs like the Purple Raiders have. And now it's Williams back in there on the left of Mikey Maloney, the quarterback, on 2nd and 10. And it's Williams again straight ahead. A short gain before he is pushed back, maybe a half-yard.
I think Mount was thinking, you know, this is a passing down. They're going to be thinking pass. Let's see if we can get a few yards out of Williams. And John Carroll did a great job of jamming the middle where Williams was trying to go. Good work there by the Blue Streaks, led by Mason Russ.
And there's big number 95, Nathaniel Hendricks,
who also was there.
Right.
So here we are again, 3rd and 9. It's kind of playing out the same way the last drive did, where Mount had a 3rd and long and couldn't convert. They tried the field goal and couldn't convert that either. So see what happens on this drive. And I think timeout's going to be called here.
Timeout. Mount Union.
And it is Mount Union this time that wants to talk this play over. Mount's been relying quite a bit on the run, and you know, even though they scored the long bomb for the only points on the board, and they have gotten some pass receptions out of their fine receivers, but they have been relying on trying to establish that running game so it can open up the passing game later. You know, this is the 46th meeting between these two teams. Mount has the lead in the series 40-3-2, and you wouldn't know it because this rivalry just is intense, and it's always a big game for both teams. John Carroll, of course, getting the big win in 2016 it was, and yeah, that kind of set the tone for, you know, revenge and so forth, and it's just been one of those heated rivalries. There have been some great games in the series. The triple overtime game of 57-51 in 1999 is probably number 1 in all of OAC history, but this one is shaping up to be a good one as well.
3rd and 9 from the 26. And a flag comes in.
I think there was motion on Mount.
That is correct, Harry.
Snap infraction. Offense number 61. 5-yard penalty. Replay the down. Clock operator, please reset the game clock to 9 minutes and 36 seconds.
Yeah, there was obvious movement here by the Raiders as they were sending Turner in motion, and the ball was snapped just a little too quickly.
So from a 3rd and 9 to 3rd and 14 from the 31. Fake handoff. Ball to the end zone, in the air and incomplete. There was some contact inside the 5. Pass was intended for Davion Grant.
Mikey Maloney put it up there for his speedy receiver Grant to get under, and he made a diving attempt but just couldn't get there. Look at it again. There's that contact, and it's just out of his reach. So another attempted field goal here by Marish.
Yeah, Grant did a nice job of fighting through the contact, made an effort, not able to bring it in. So Marish, who missed a little while ago on a field goal, with another attempt here.
48 yards.
Plenty of leg. It's on its way, and he pulls it to the right. No good.
So a couple of missed attempts, but again, with this wind, not making excuses necessarily, because kickers are kickers, but I think again, whichever way the wind is blowing is the way this ball is missing. That one, I think, just sailed to the right, and it'll be John Carroll's defense holding again when they need to.
Ball turns over to the Blue Streaks. They have it 1st and 10 now at their own 31. 9.5 to go, first half. Purple Raiders clinging to a 7-0 lead. And this is a handoff, the running back on the carry. Quincy Newsome. And he'll get a yard to the 32. Not much there against this Purple Raiders defense that time.
Well, it's been pretty stout against the run. In fact, their defense played extremely well here through the first quarter and a half, almost quarter and a half.
32-yard line and a 2nd and 9. Felder guns it out left side. Catch is made. That is Lindstrom.
Dasagulu on the coverage. Gave him enough room to make the catch, but was able to come up and make the tackle short of the front stick. In fact, they still have another 4 to go. 3rd and 4.
Threw him out of bounds at the 37. Quick toss to the left.
Dasagulu with some nice numbers. 58 tackles, 17 pass breakups, and 4 interceptions.
Did I read somewhere the 17 pass breakups is #1 in the nation?
Yes, correct.
3rd and 4 from the 37. Pass and the catch is made. It's a first down for John Carroll. Reception by Tyron Montgomery. There's that guy again at the 47-yard line. Well, make it the 44.
He's their go-to, and you give Septenfelder enough time, he's going to find him, and he found him just beyond the front stick. So the drive continues for the Blue Streaks.
Ricky Levac on the tackle that time for Mount Union. 1st and 10 at the 44. Cloudy and cold Saturday afternoon here in Alliance, Ohio for this showdown. 3rd round. And on the carry, there's some running room right near midfield on the carry. That's Newsome again. And he gets 6 yards to midfield.
So that play seemed slow in developing, but it did allow the offensive line, I guess, to do its job because the hole was created. And a nice run there by Quincy Newsome. Now, John Carroll, they've moved the ball through the air, have had trouble on the ground here in the 2nd quarter, making a little bit more progress that way.
Ball is at midfield and a 2nd and 4 play now. Newsome remains at running back to the right of Septenfelder. He'll throw left side. Catch is made again. Quick pass and catch, and it's Montgomery with another grab inside the Mount Union 45 to the 44. It's another first down.
Well, when Montgomery's lined up over the bottom of your screen, he noticed he drew a couple of guys, including Brown, along with Rasifulu, and you've got to be careful because he can catch the out, but he can also take you deep.
A whole lot of shifting there for the Blue Streaks. 1st and 10 at the 44. The running back now is Climac. Fake to him. Here comes pressure. Fires. Catch is made over the middle and down near the 35. That's the tight end, Kenneth Rawls.
Now Rawls made a nice catch because the throw was low and it was so wide open, though he was able to bobble it and then still bring it in. Mount put good pressure on Septemfeld that time, but he was able to find the tight end across the middle, and he made a nice grab.
2nd down and 2. John Carroll's been here before. They keep getting a little deeper every drive.
Yeah, they do.
But last time that drive ended with a turnover. New quarterback in the game. Look for a trick play. This is Keller Moten. He's going to keep. He's got the 1st down and still on his feet. And a fine effort.
Fumble.
Ball came out. Picked up by the Purple Raiders at the 30 to the 35.
I think the ball was just stolen. I didn't see it hit the ground, but that was Jason Anderson, I believe, who came up with it.
And here a couple flags at the end of the play. We'll see if we can get this one straightened out for you.
All of a sudden, Mount's got the football. Did not see it exchange hands.
We're told we're going to show you a great replay in just a moment as the officials continue to discuss it.
Well, something happened at the end of the play, too.
Ruling on the play is a fumble recovered by the defense. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Offense number 13. That's number 13's first unsportsmanlike penalty of the game. Penalty being enforced from the dead ball spot. 1st down.
Well, we have another turnover by John Carroll as we look. And there he is stood up, and the ball's still in his hand. Now it does come out. Okay, it did come out, and Anderson came up with it. And then at the end of the play, a personal foul gives Mount, or an unsportsmanlike conduct gives Mount excellent field position at the John Carroll 48.
And on the recovery, that is freshman Jason Anderson out of Buchtel High School in Akron. There's some running room for the Purple Raiders inside the 45. That's Minner.
Minner, yeah, on his 2nd carry. Did a nice job after taking the handoff, getting into the secondary and picking up about 8 or 7. Make it 7 yards. Minner coming in with 80 attempts, rushing 567 yards, 6 touchdowns. Well, Mount has enjoyed the field position as a result of some nice plays, but they haven't been able to put it in other than on the very first play of the game.
Minner again to the 39. Looks to be just a little short of that 1st down marker. So John Carroll with fumbles on their last 2 possessions. But they're still hanging in there, only down 7-0. 3rd down, less than a yard. Minner's going to have the 1st down and more as he is close to the 35.
You know, we talked about the turnovers, and so far Mount has created 2 turnovers, but they haven't resulted in points, and that can be a little bit disconcerting as well, as John Carroll's defense has been able to get the job done when it looks like the tide has turned against them. This is an important drive for Mount Union. They need to put some points on the board.
If you've just joined us, Mount Union scored on their first play on offense, a 75-yard touchdown pass, and subsequently Mount Union has missed a pair of field goals to leave that score at 7-0. 1st and 10, throw, and it is caught inside the 30. Coming back for that, Davion Grant. That's a 9-yard pickup to the 26.
That's a great job by Grant to realize that he had to come back to the football as Maloney put it in the air and just shy of the front stick.
And he tosses it out. Catch is made.
That's Turner.
Turner, and he's down. This is the 20. It's going to be a 1st down. Going to actually mark that at the 19. And Harry, all of a sudden, the clock becomes a factor as we are under 3 minutes.
Both teams with 2 timeouts. And here's Turner's numbers: 2 receptions, 95 yards, and a touchdown.
Clock continues to roll.
And Mount taking its time. They can do that. But the important thing is points.
Ball is at the 19 of John Carroll. Yeah, you mentioned this is a big series for both teams. Hand off, Williams. And not much there. Tried that left side.
Picked up one, but that's about it. Between the tackles has been tough at times against these Blue Streaks.
2nd and 9 play coming up as we are approaching the 2-minute mark in this first half. Minner lined up behind Maloney, and we've got the timeout at 2 minutes.
This is a 2-minute timeout.
Now the 2-minute timeout comes into effect, and Mount Union looking at a 2nd and 9 at the 18-yard line, and we'll be back right after this. Well, we're still 7-0 as the Purple Raiders got on the board on the very first play, and since then it's just been a battle royale between the offenses and defenses. Mount has created 2 turnovers but haven't been able to capitalize. Let's see what happens here in the last 2 minutes of the first half.
From the 18, it's a 2nd down and 9. Toss in the left flat. Catch is made by Turner. And another short gain as he gets, well, they say that he was, now they stop the clock. Sorry about that. Continue to run.
Huffnagel making a good
game clock operator.
tackle.
Please reset the game clock to 1 minute and 53 seconds.
Yeah, they ran a couple more seconds off the clock than they should have, but it's going to be at 1:53 now, and Mount's looking at a 3rd and 8, another third down conversion in scoring territory. Now, not necessarily the red zone, although this time they are in the red zone, but the last couple times they've been close enough to score but have missed a couple of field goals, and this is another 3rd down call. John Carroll's defense has been tough.
3rd and 8, and now Jeff Dart and the Purple
Timeout.
Raiders are going to call another timeout.
Mount Union.
They want to make sure
Second charge
they make
timeout
the
of the
right
half.
call here. And meanwhile, that gives John Carroll's defense an opportunity to talk with Jeff Behrman. Yeah, Mike Elder there on your right talking to Larry Karras. And Mike Elder put together back-to-back state championships.
Division II
Mount Union grad
for Avon.
Yeah, exactly.
The Avon Eagles, back-to-back Division II state champions.
Probably got a little bit of advice from the guy there to his right, Larry Karras, who coached him back in the day. A couple of good football minds there chatting it over. And speaking of good football minds, we've got the huddle with Kyle Miller and Jeff Dart talking it over. Mount Union wanting to come up with a big play here.
That's a good look at quarterback Mikey Maloney, a true freshman. 3rd and 8 from the 17. Right side, catch is made. That is Turner.
Yeah, he had to go down to get it though, and that prevented him from getting the first down. So now what? 4th and about 5.
That was at the 14 as you watch the replay.
They've already tried a couple field goals and haven't had any success.
Clock rolling. It's 4th and 5 for the Purple Raiders at the Blue Streaks 14. Minner is the running back. Maloney rolling, being chased. Ball in the end zone and out of the back of the end zone.
And the fact that he was being chased is what resulted in the overthrow. It was a timing situation where if he's got the time, he's going to put it right on the money. But because he was throwing on the run, rolling to the opposite of his throwing arm, he just had to put it up there and sailed it out of bounds. So John Carroll, but you got to give their defense credit. 3 attempts by Mount after turnovers and the defense doing its job, and they just couldn't get any more points.
It was Ben Day who's their leading sack leader, and he was the one who applied the pressure, trying to get another one.
So it'll be Septemfelder back in there. The last play, he wasn't in there, and it resulted in a turnover.
Septemfelder looks, ball tipped.
There was definitely a miscommunication, but there is a flag on the near side, and I think this is going to go against Mount, perhaps.
Now, because the ball was tipped, does that nullify the flag?
I don't know. That's what they might be discussing here. I mean, if it was tipped, it does make a difference.
Another discussion here for the officials. With just over a minute to go in the half.
Yeah, the head linesman was indicating he didn't realize it was tipped, I think is what he was saying.
Pass interference.
Nope.
Defense number 3. Ball be placed in the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
Maybe he was saying it wasn't tipped. Let's take another look. No, it just wobbled out of there. No, you're thinking it was tipped there.
I thought it might have been.
Yeah, apparently not. But the flag was thrown deep, and it is a called penalty, so John Carroll moves the ball forward.
Septemfelder got bumped on that throw. He'll throw now, middle, and it's incomplete and then caught.
Yeah, he bobbled it and then caught it.
Good job by the receiver, Golson, or I should say Lindstrom. Popped out of his chest, kept awareness, and was able to bring it in out across the 34.
We had another flag.
Okay.
This one in the backfield, apparently. It's lying at the 22-yard line.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense number 91. Penalty being forced from the end of the run, 15 yards, automatic first down.
Well, that one really hurts.
The game clock to 54 seconds.
So now there's 54 seconds left. John Carroll has 2 timeouts remaining. They've got as much time as they need to try to push the ball in there and tie the score.
And statistics-wise, they have a pretty good field goal kicker. 12 out of 15 on the year, and his long is 46 yards, so not too far out of field goal range. So it's 1st and 10 after the penalty at the Mount Union 49. Septemfelder to throw. Here comes pressure, and he is going to be sacked. Ball comes out, but it looks like one of the linemen covered it up, close to the 40.
Boy, he got hit, and he got hit hard, but a nice recovery there by Dundama.
Looked like Caleb Brown was in the middle of it again here.
Yeah, and also Bowden.
Right.
Timeout. John Carroll. Second charge timeout of the half.
Okay, so they're forced to use their second timeout, and that is a big sack because it does it does put John Carroll back to the 41-yard line.
And they had to burn the timeout.
And that's right.
So that's a big play for the Purple Raiders on defense.
Took a lot of time off the clock. There's Bowden's numbers: 39 tackles, 7.5 for loss, 4.5 sacks. They've been applying good pressure on Septemfelder. Witness the fact that there's a 0 on the board right now for John Carroll. This defense has come up big, and they've created a couple turnovers. And in normal circumstances, Mount would have about a 3-touchdown lead right now, but John Carroll's defense has been equal to the task. Purple Raiders just haven't been able to take advantage.
We talk a little bit about senior bandit Caleb Brown for the Purple Raiders on defense. Came in with 29 career sacks. That is 5th all-time at Mount Union, and Purple Raiders have had a lot of guys make a lot of sacks over the years.
Yeah, it says a lot about him and the career he has had.
2nd down and 20 from the 41. Brown again, pressured. Septenfelder is going to go down. Back at the 35, and a flag comes in near the end of the play.
That was Earhart who made the sack after Caleb Brown supplied the pressure. And we're going to have holding.
Holding. Offense number
Against John
65.
Carroll.
Penalties decline.
Because of the loss, they're going to decline the penalty. And this is great pressure and good coverage downfield. Steppenfelder just couldn't find anybody. And then Earhart finishes him off, and he's got 49 tackles, 3.5 for loss, and a pass breakup. And now John Carroll, I believe, is going to call their last timeout. Mount Union called timeout. Okay. 24 seconds left.
Timeout. Mount Union.
That's Mount's
third and final charge timeout.
Last timeout. I think based on the fact that John Carroll has a ways to go to get the first down, they're maybe thinking maybe we can get the ball back.
There's Jeff Behrman, head coach for the Blue Streaks. And how deep in the playbook do you have to go here on 4th and 27?
Or do you play it a little conservative and be pleased with the fact that you're only down 7-0 at the half?
Yeah, I think you just run the ball here. Just not much time, and again, the Purple Raiders now out of timeout, so I'm going to kick it.
Oh, there was a loss of down there. For some reason, I was thinking we were at third down.
I did too.
Okay. That's why they called the timeout.
Shuckert to punt.
They are going to get the ball back.
Shuckert near his 20. Ashby back deep for the Purple Raiders. A nice high kick. Ashby signals fair catch and makes it right near the 30-yard line with just 19 seconds to go. So they're going to get an opportunity.
They will. No timeouts left, but 19 seconds on the clock. And with Mikey Maloney as your quarterback, as we saw on the first play of this game, they can score in a hurry. So let's see what Jeff Dart and the staff have dialed up here. Maloney, 9 of 12 for 130 yards and a touchdown. 85 of those coming on a touchdown strike to start the game.
Yeah. Ball just shy of the 30-yard line. Looks like the Purple Raiders are just going to take a knee here.
They took the timeout because anything was possible on the punt.
Sure.
But now that the ball's at the 30, they're going to play it safe here. And we've got a flag probably.
Legal substitution.
It's a legal substitution.
Offense. 12 players in formation. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Well, as is often the case, you expect a shootout. Two great quarterbacks,
yeah,
right?
That's all we talked about.
Yeah.
Both these teams averaging over 45 points a game.
Right, and here we are at the half at 7-0, which is often the case when you get championship football, as these two teams have gotten deep into the playoffs now. The defenses have spoken, but we'll see. We've got another half to go.
Final seconds ticking off here at Carroll Stadium.
And both teams headed for their respective locker rooms.
It's the end of the first half.
Need we say more? The very first play of the game was a touchdown for Mount Union. That is of the game for Mount Union on offense to take a 7-0 lead, and that's where we are at halftime. So we'll be back with some highlights, statistics, and the second half, but first we're going to pause for this.
Mic check, 1, 2.
Halftime at Carroll Stadium, 7-0 Mount Union. It's been a battle, that's for sure, as is often the case when John Carroll meets Mount Union, especially when you're in the playoffs, third round of the playoffs. And we had a lot of highlights in this game, even though the score is 7-0. In fact, right off the bat, John Carroll got the ball first, as they won the toss and elected to receive. And on this drive, Mount Union's defense making an early statement on a sack led by Brown. And then on the very first play for Mount Union, there is Nick Turner on an 85-yard reception from Mikey Maloney. Mount Union getting on the board first. Little did we know that that would be the only one. But here is Maloney, who was running and getting tackled and getting pressured by the John Carroll defense. Here is a field goal attempt that just goes wide for Mount Union to try to take a 10-0 lead. And Steppenfelder also under pressure a good part of the first half. Mount Union recovering the fumble, but unable to take advantage as this field goal drifts off to the right. So a couple of missed field goals uncharacteristically by the Purple Raiders. And again, the defense for Mount, giving Steppenfelder, or in that case it wasn't Steppenfelder, it was a fumble recovery by the Purple Raiders' Jason Anderson. And again, Mount trying to take advantage, pressure by John Carroll on a fourth down throw, incomplete, and it remained 7-0 at that point. And on a subsequent attempted drive, the ball, or I should say Steppenfelder gets knocked down by Caleb Brown, and that's how the first half ended. Here's the stats, and again, usually gaudy stats for both teams, but in this case, Mount with 130 passing yards to 107 for JCU, 62 rushing for Mount to just 10 for John Carroll. Penalties, Mount has been penalized 5 times for 55, John Carroll 3 for 45. 2 turnovers by John Carroll. They haven't been too costly. They've thwarted drives, but Mount's been unable to put points on the board as a result of them, and Mount has the edge in time of possession, 15:47 to 14:13. So kind of a strange game, Dave. I mean, you know, you got Mount Union on the other hand sort of dominant, but unable to put points on the board, and that can be dangerous.
And Harry, we talked about these offenses. It was John Carroll coming in, averaging over 44 points a game. Mount Union nearly 47 points per game, and you have a 7-0 score at the half. And the Purple Raiders will get the football to start the second half. We're moments away from that.
Yeah, and of course, both coaches, veteran coaches, they know how to make adjustments. It's just a matter of what adjustments are they going to make. John Carroll's got to get that running game going, I think. They've only got 10 yards net, and Mount's done a pretty good job bottling that up. Mount, on the other hand, has to make the big plays on offense, which they're used to doing but haven't been able to do against this John Carroll team. Just a note, Mount in the third quarter throughout the season, 165 points to just 6 by their opponents. So the third quarter has been the quarter for Mount Union to put points on the board while holding their opponents. But on the other hand, John Carroll's in the third quarter 105 points, holding the opponents to 27. So something's going to give here eventually.
Here is junior kicker Colin Schuler ready to boot it away for the Blue Streaks. It is going to sail deep into the end zone. So it'll be a touchback, and the Purple Raiders will start first and 10.
You know, the wind has picked up, and even though the game time temperature is low 30s, they're saying that the wind chills because of the wind about in the teens. So it's it's a little deceptive as you look out there. It's not like they're all bundled up, but it is cold, and that plays with holding on to the football, whether you can do it or not.
So here come the Purple Raiders with a 7-0 lead. They start on offense at their own 25-yard line. There's a good look at quarterback Mikey Maloney.
And his numbers, 9 of 12, 130 yards and a touchdown in the first half.
And he'll come out throwing on first down. Over the middle, that is Turner. And Turner forward progress to the 33. Going to give him 8 yards on that short pass play.
And just went across the middle. Actually, the Raiders have had success in the middle of the field, as has John Carroll, for that matter. Both coaches have decided to go that route. Here's a running play that goes nowhere.
Williams, no gain on that second down call. Bring up a third down and 2.
Williams has been relatively bottled up. By the way, this is the first time all season that John Carroll's been shut out in the first half. So give credit to Mount Union's defense. Williams with 33 net yards in the first half.
Third down and 2 from the 33. Give to Williams. He is in trouble, and he's knocked down. He'll get a yard to the 34, and that's it.
Yeah. On a delay, looked like he had some good blocking up front, but John Carroll's defense doing the job, and it's going to force a punt from Mount. They can't afford, I don't think, to take the chance here on 4th and 1.
Big number 92, Tommy Wazinski, in the middle of that for the defensive front for John Carroll. 4th down, and Mount Union will punt. It'll be senior Michael Franklin on the punt, averaging over 43 yards a kick, first in the OAC this season.
And even though we've said the wind is blowing west to east, he's actually punting against the wind. He's going to keep it low, and he did.
Golson going to field it on the run at the 35 and crack down hard close to the 40-yard line. So John Carroll will have great field position.
Good job by Jerry Cooper. That ball took a beautiful hop for John Carroll high into the air and allowed him to get under it and try to make the return and gather momentum. But Cooper coming in and slicing and making the tackle. But John Carroll with decent field position at his own 38-yard line to begin the third quarter. And they did exactly what you want to do. When you win the toss and the other team has the ball to begin the third quarter, you don't want them to march down and score. And John Carroll's defense with a big stand there.
First and 10 at the 38. And they give to the running back. Running room across the 40, close to the 45. That's Quincy Newsome, number 21.
A little bit of a delay there, and the delay allowed the hole to open. And nice job by Newsome to get there and pick up about 7. Nice cut there.
Ball marked just shy of the 45. Second down, 3 yards to go now for the Blue Streaks. Felder to throw. Man wide open. And into Mount Union territory inside the 40. The reception by Tyron Montgomery, who had a big first half, and he starts the second half of the battle.
Well, Montgomery got open. Brown almost got to Septenfelder here. As you see, right at the last minute, he got it away just in time and had a lot on it. And John Carroll on the move, trying to get this game tied up. 5 receptions, 27 yards for Montgomery.
First and 10 at the Mount Union 39. And in motion is Newsom. Now to the left, and flag comes in.
That's a delay if it's the back judge. Or is he talking? He wants the play clock reset or something. I don't know. I don't know why he would throw the flag.
There is no foul on the play. Please reset the play clock to 25 seconds. Start it and the game clock on my whistle.
Okay. I think he was just trying to get the attention by throwing the flag.
That'll get the attention.
Yeah.
All right. Clock running again. 2nd and 10 from the 39. Handoff is to Newsom.
Good second effort.
Yeah, breaks a couple tackles, and they'll mark him at the 36. It's going to be a 3-yard pickup on first down.
Picked up a couple with that second effort. Looked like he was stopped after about a gain of 1. Cruz hanging on to him to bring him down.
Second and 7. Ball to 36. Toss. Newsom sweeping right. Turns the corner. Jammed out of bounds near the 30-yard line.
Good strong run there by Newsom, lowering the shoulder.
Going to signal first down for John Carroll.
Anderson coming over to make the stop, but Newsom winning the battle and getting the first down yardage.
Let's go, Val. Pick it up.
29.
Let's go. What's up? You guys are dead. Wake up.
10.5 to go, 3rd quarter, and John Carroll on the march.
Yep, they're in 4-down territory now for sure.
Let's go. Come on, Keenan. Let's go.
They spread things out here.
Felder to throw. Going for the end zone, has a man out there, and it's caught. Touchdown.
Well, great throw, great grab, as it was Chris Golson in the end zone. Pretty well defended, but that pass was right on the money.
It sure was. Timed it up well.
There's Septenfelder. He gets the time, throws off the back foot, but boy, gets a lot under it. And Golson with the catch and the touchdown.
And he's excited. Yes, he should be. Schuler, extra point. And we've got a tie game with just under 10 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter from Carroll Stadium in Alliance.
Back here at Carroll Stadium, the John Carroll faithful got something to cheer about. There's a nice crowd on hand considering the weather. You know, typically when school is in session, regular season, these two teams met as members of the OAC. Some of our largest crowds here at Carroll Stadium have been the John Carroll game. But A lot of people really interested in this one, that's for sure, and they have been entertained.
On the return, Williams for Mount. Ball comes out. Near the 25, let's see.
And it's Mount's ball. Wow, they dodged a bullet there.
Williams on the return that time for the Purple Raiders, had it knocked out.
He ended up with it, I think, as well, but some hearts were in throats here as Williams, carrying the ball, gets hit, and there's the ball popping loose. John Carroll right now trying to feast on their momentum of the touchdown, and they've got fans here on the near side that are really egging them on. Mount needs to answer.
The Raiders were lucky to come up with that. Williams alertly falling on it. From the 24, first down at 10, Purple Raiders. Tie game here. Still a lot of time left here in the third quarter. Toss, catch is made. Grant. Deion Grant with the reception out near the 31.
So again, you want these first down plays to get you positive yardage past, make it second manageable, and that way it can be third manageable. But
2nd and 3 from the 31.
And you don't want to get too impatient either. I mean, the tendency is here to, let's get a lot of yards back. You just got to whittle away.
Toss, and it's caught again. Turner. Turner's got the first down. Sidesteps a would-be tackler and crosses to the 36.
And if you're John Carroll, you're thinking, we are not going to give up the big play. We already did that once. You've got guys that can bust the game open with their speed, but right now they're content to allow short yardage passes.
Back-to-back completions to Turner, enough for a first down. Ball at the 36. 25, Sean Thomas in the backfield. He'll get the carry. He's got running room. Bangs his way across the 40 to the 42. 6 yards on first down.
Yeah, they played. Thomas was in the game early, and then it looked like he took himself out of the game, and now he's back in again. And what he does is he gives you that bigger guy to go between the tackles and pick up the tough yards, which could have come in handy on third down, a couple of the third down occasions in the first half.
2nd down and 4 from the 42. Maloney in trouble. Now he'll get out of it to the 45, 50, 45, and chased out at the 40-yard line.
That was an excellent, that was just instinctive by Maloney because they were closing in on him and it looked like he might get caught from behind, but made a nice move and just smoothly ran his way down to the outside and picked up the first down into John Carroll territory.
He was able to avoid linebacker Mason Roos, who was chasing him. So at the 41 of John Carroll, Purple Raiders 1st and 10. Empty backfield for Maloney. Looking right, now throws over the middle, and it's caught. Is that Ashby?
I believe it was, yes. And a big hit there.
And a flag comes in.
And this could be a targeting by Krasow.
Inside the 20.
Hit him high. It was a big hit.
Ashby made a great play.
Yeah, I don't know how Ashby hung on to it.
Ashby, a sophomore wide receiver out of North Canton. Officials conferring.
Whirling on the play is a completed catch. Personal foul. Targeting. Defense. Previous play is under further review.
Well, they'll review this to determine whether it was targeting or not. And well, nice job. This is not his first read, but he does find Ashby and boom, helmet to helmet. That'll be up to the officials to determine. I'm not smart enough to know whether that's targeting or not, but it's a big hit. I can tell you that. Dangerous.
Well, the winner of this game will advance to the quarterfinals next Saturday, and the winner today from this one will meet the winner between Trinity, Texas and Berry College out of Georgia. And you had a score there earlier.
Yeah, actually the halftime score was Berry 22 and Trinity nothing. So Berry has the upper hand at this point, and they are, like you mentioned, Dave, out of Georgia. And I think I'm right about this. I'm pretty good with Mount Union football history. I don't think the Purple Raiders have ever faced Barry, but first things first, they've got to win this game in order to get there.
Take care of business here.
Another score that would be of interest because they were the first week opponent. Wheaton is winning their game and would advance in the playoffs. And I remember saying toward the end of that game that we may be seeing Wheaton again, and that is possible, I suppose, if they continue to win and Mount Union continues to win. So the officials have gone. I think the referee has a spot where he goes and discusses things in the end zone. There's a tent in the south end zone where they're reviewing this to determine whether or not it's targeting. Yeah, there's the shot. There's no heat there, by the way. Right.
Right. I'm going to give you another look here.
Yeah. There's the catch, comes down, and there's contact for sure with the helmet. How he hung on to the football is
right.
Fortunately sees him coming. It's not like it was a surprise, but he gets in. He leads with the helmet underneath the face mask, and I don't know.
Yeah, they're taking a long look.
You know, targeting in Division III versus Division I versus the pros. It's subject to interpretation. I know the officials there talking it over with the Mount coaching staff. The rule would be that if it is deemed to be targeting, that the defender would be out of the game. Grassie's an all NCAA second teamer, so we'll see.
That would be a big loss, of course, for John Carroll.
And again, comes in right under the. He nearly knocks the helmet out. So he really made contact with the face mask with his helmet.
Two officials still under that tent there in the south end zone, taking a closer look.
Not something that we usually in Division III have these long delays because of reviews, etc. Because during the season we don't have the reviews, but once you get into the playoffs, you do have the advantage, if you want to call it that, of taking a longer look, which then delays the game.
Otherwise, this has been a pretty impressive drive for the Purple Raiders.
It has.
After that touchdown a few moments ago from John Carroll.
After review, targeting has been confirmed. Number 1 has been disqualified from the remainder of the contest. That 15-yard penalty being forced from the end of his run, automatic first down.
Well, that will do it. It's the afternoon for Dylan Crassie.
He is a sophomore quarterback out of Aurora, Ohio.
And at half the distance to the goal, puts the ball inside the 10-yard line for Mount Union. They need to take advantage of it. They have been threatening this entire game, but John Carroll's defense has come up big when it's needed to.
So it is now 1st and goal at the John Carroll 8. Thomas, the running back, behind Maloney. Give to Thomas. Thomas straight ahead. Ball comes out. John Carroll recovers.
Wow, so Mount had the momentum. Mount sat on the sidelines for a while. They give it to Thomas. He coughs it up, and John Carroll's Lamar Thomas comes up with the football.
Senior defensive back out of Canisius, Buffalo, New York. Here's the replay.
High snap. Thomas takes it, though, and busts through there, and he just loses control. It came off the helmet of Chris Golson.
First turnover of the game against Mount Union.
And it couldn't have happened at a better time for John Carroll. Not threatening to take the lead, but now it's John Carroll with the ball.
Ball marked just shy of the 6.
Talked about the importance of turnovers in these playoff games, and boy, That was inopportune for Mount Union.
Zemtefelder hands off. That is number 26, Nemo Jenkins, the senior running back.
Jenkins wraps both hands around the football as he's trying to get out from the shadow of the goalposts. And he picked up about 3.
Ball at the 9-yard line, 2nd and 7. Under 7 minutes to go, 3rd quarter, in a tie game. Let's see how aggressive John Carroll gets here. Quick toss, catch is made, and then shoved back. The grab there by number 2, Shane Lindstrom. Looks like they're going to give him about 4.
Yeah. 3rd and manageable now for John Carroll. And of course, a big 3rd down play. Mount doesn't want to give up the real estate battle here. They would like to force John Carroll into a punt and get the ball back.
Looks like a 3rd and 2, Harry, at the 14. Felder up under center. He's going to throw. There's a man open there and overshoots his intended receiver. Down there was Tyron Montgomery. So John Carroll trying to catch the Purple Raiders off guard, and they're going to have to punt out of their own end zone.
Interesting play call. That's a risky call, but
it's great if it works.
It works, yeah. Obviously,
we always say that.
Gets them right where they want to be. And by going under center, that was also maybe a clue, or a deceptive clue as it was. It looked like it was going to be a running play, but he threw it deep and just overshot the mark.
Well, good sign for Mount Union. Ashby back deep to attempt to return this punt. He was the one that was the victim of a target call a short time ago. Schukert from the 5. A high floating kick. Ashby going to settle under it near the 48-yard line. So the Purple Raiders get great field position, and we've got an injured player for John Carroll down.
Yeah, just near the ball. It looked like maybe he just twisted his ankle.
Timeout for an injured kicking team player.
Caught it in the turf and went down. Or maybe it's just a leg cramp. They're starting to think it's a leg cramp anyway. We'll start that way.
Right. So just under 6 minutes to go. Purple Raiders defense comes up big after a turnover. We'll see if the Mount Union offense can get something generated here.
So things slowed down. You know, interesting, isn't it? That Mount was on the move. It looked like they had the momentum going. And even though it was a targeting call that worked to Mount's advantage, that delay was enough to sort of, you know, stall things off. And Mount seemed to have lost the momentum, and they definitely lost it when they fumbled the football. But here we go with another situation where Mount's defense does its job. They get the ball, injury, everybody goes to the sidelines. Now we start again.
That was Chad Harpster, the long snapper for John Carroll, number 48, who was injured. Looks like he's going to be okay as he walks off under his own power. So at the 48 now, 1st and 10, Purple Raiders. Williams the running back, and Maloney with all kinds of time throws, catches made. Grant goes high in the air down near the 36.
Good job by Grant to get that foot down, maybe both feet down in that situation, and a nice throw by Maloney.
Good protection.
He rolls 1 foot, both feet, and out of bounds.
From the 37, 1st and 10, Purple Raiders. Williams the running back. He'll get the carry straight ahead. And a couple close to the 35.
John Carroll's done a nice job of closing in on the, when you're trying to run between the tackles. Often Williams has a little bit more of a seam than what he's had, but they're bunching and keeping it to just a couple yards at a time.
2 yards on that play. 2nd and 8 at the 35. And Maloney to throw again. He is chased, and he's going to go down back at the 39. A sack for the John Carroll defense.
Well, he was trying to get away, and he just couldn't get out of the arms of Hunter Knotts, who had been blocked effectively, but he stayed with it and sets up a 3rd and long for Mount Union.
Yeah, that looked more like a coverage sack. Pretty good coverage in the secondary for the Blue Streaks. 3rd and 12 from the 39. Coming up on 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. And Maloney to throw. Here comes pressure, gets away, keeps his feet inside the 40 and slung down at the 36.
Again, great coverage downfield. Maloney he had plenty of time, but it broke down eventually. And now he's running for his life and just can't quite get away. So Mount, I think, is going to bring on the punt team.
Right.
And again, John Carroll, the defense answers the call.
Marish to punt from midfield. Golson for John Carroll, standing near his 10. Marish bangs it inside the 5, and it is down there at the 3 by the Purple Raiders.
Well, they did a good job of punt coverage, and Franklin got it up there just high enough, and getting underneath it was Pitlack for Mount Union to pin John Carroll inside the 5.
What a great punt. It checked up for him. And Ethan Pitlack, a senior linebacker out of Naperville, Illinois, with the touch there.
So once again, here comes John Carroll, backed up against the goal line a bit.
Climack, the running back.
Not wanting to just keep it that way.
Ball is at the 4. Give to Climack. Climack knocked down. Like he may have got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Brandon Bowden was there to make the stop.
Another opportunity for this Purple Raiders defense to keep John Carroll pinned back.
We thought it would be an offensive battle. We've got 2:47 to go in the 3rd quarter. It's 7-7. It still may end up being an offensive battle, but
you never know.
So far, it's been the defenses.
No gain on that run. 2nd and 10 from the 4. John Carroll backed up here late in the 3rd quarter. Felder to throw, and that is batted down at the line.
Caleb Brown got a hand on it.
Yes, he did. Came rushing in from the quarterback's right side and got a paw up on that one. Batted away.
He's been tough all afternoon for John Carroll to defend, and there he got up high, knocked the ball away. He's always had it pretty well defended as well, but it's going to be 3rd down now.
Looks like that pass was intended for Montgomery. 3rd and 10 from the 4. And Felder to throw, left side in the air. It is caught. It's going to be a 1st down for John Carroll out near the 15-yard line. And it was Chris Golson on the receiving end. Make that Shane Lindstrom.
You saw the strength of Felder's arm there. That's a long throw. It stayed up there a long time, but Golson came back to it and looked like he was going to be close to the front stick, but he knew where he needed to go, and he got the 1st down.
1st down at 10 from the 16 now. John Carroll gives themselves a little bit of space on the carry out across the 25. That's Quincy Newsome.
They've been running delays, and those delays have worked. And it's true again. Newsome just takes a couple steps towards Steppenfelter and then takes it up the field and gets the 1st down.
1st down at the 26. Meanwhile, that clock continues to run. Like Climack back in. He'll get the toss left side, sweeping the corner.
just ran out of space there.
Yeah.
He did get the corner, but had to go out of bounds, and it was Caleb Brown again giving pursuit.
Yeah, he was hit hard. He got blocked pretty good there, just shy of the 30. Actually, they're going to set it down at the 28. Gain of 2, 2nd and 8. Final minute here in the third quarter. Klimek remains in the game, set up left of Semptenfelder. And he'll look to throw. High and incomplete out near the 40. Pass intended for Lindstrom. Good coverage by the Purple Raiders.
Yeah, that was Tresivulu who was out there to make the hit, but the pass was too tall anyway. You can see that ball, the ball's kind of wobbling, and it isn't, it's not leaving his hand that way. It's the wind, I think, is a factor in these throws.
I feel like the wind may have picked up a bit.
Just a bit. I think you're right.
Final half minute, third quarter, and a big play for both teams here. 3rd and 8 from the 28 of John Carroll.
Good cover, or good
Look to
protection
throw,
there.
and the catch is made. That is Lindstrom again out across the 40, and John Carroll converts again on 3rd and long.
The key there was protection. He just had way too much time, and the receivers were able to get open.
And that is going to be the final play of the third quarter. You can see Lindstrom is fired up. End of the third quarter.
End of the third quarter.
Well, we're back at Carroll Stadium. It's 7-7 going into the fourth quarter. These John Carroll games between Mount Union and John Carroll, they can be one-sided, or they can be the way this one is. It's a nail-biter, and it's going to be that way if history is correct, because they have played some great battles right here at Carroll Stadium. And John Carroll came in here, third round of the playoff. They want their season to continue, and Mount, of course, has been here many times before, wanting to keep it going.
We start the fourth. It's 1st and 10. John Carroll. Klimek turns the corner into Mount Union territory, close to the 47.
There was that delay again, and this time it goes for about 9.
He was following several blockers there.
Closer to 8 now. It'll be 2nd and 2. But John Carroll on the move, and don't forget, we talked about place kicking. Marish typically, has been very good with his percentages, but John Carroll has a kicker too that has put together a nice season.
2nd down and 2 at the 47. This is Klimek, and he is going to lose a yard. Back to the 48. Dave Sheets, Harry Paytas with you here at Carroll Stadium in Alliance, Ohio for this third round matchup in Division III.
And we see this again, good pursuit by the Purple Raiders, and Gabe Ganelli, the guy who finished things off for Mount Union on that tackle. 3rd and 3 from the Mount Union 48.
Two backs flanking each side of Semptenfelder. motion. To Felder to throw. Looking. Dumps it off. Catch is made. And cracked out of bounds. But it's going to be enough for a John Carroll first down, it appears.
Yeah, that was a nice catch there by Newsome out of the backfield.
Got a flag.
But there is a flag. Looked like Caleb Brown may have been held.
Offense number 77. 10-yard penalty. Replay third down.
That's a big penalty.
Caleb Brown was doing everything he could in his power to get in to the quarterback. And there he actually does get tackled down as he's trying to get to Septemfelder, and the flag was thrown.
Yeah, that was Newsome on the reception coming out of the backfield. Haven't seen much of that.
Right.
And they haven't gone to the tight end here in the second half either.
He may have spoken too soon as he goes into the slot.
3rd and 13. He might be lined up offside. Felder to throw. Middle. And over the head of the tight end.
Exactly. Yeah.
He was looking for Rawls.
You were thinking, and the Raiders were thinking about it too, because they had pretty good coverage on the play. And so that holding penalty does cost them. And look how far offside it is. I don't know if that's our angle or whether he just, he looked like he was lined up offside.
Exactly where I'm sitting, I'm looking straight across. It looks like he had his toe over the line. It's a punt situation on 4th and 13. Schuckert.
It's a beauty.
Ashby going to settle under it and makes the grab close to the 15-yard line. Wind was taking that one towards the sideline. Not an easy catch for Ashby.
He's been pretty sure-handed for the Raiders once they settled on him being the punt returner. And so Mount will put it in play from its own 16-yard line.
So here we go with a little more than 13 minutes left in this one, a tie game. Mount Union with a score in the first quarter on their first play on offense, and John Carroll answering with a touchdown in the third. We are tied with almost the entire fourth quarter to go. Mikey Maloney with Thomas the running back. Maloney going to throw. Now rolling. Ball in the air down the field, and too much. Pass intended for Grant. Well covered, and Maloney, wow, what a throw. Had that ball in the air a long time.
Yeah, he did, and again, he relies a lot on the speed of his receivers and kind of hangs the ball up there, but just a little bit too much under that one. And again, it's tough to throw in this wind too. That wind is tricky. It's not north and south. It's kind of been swirling a bit, and those touch passes are tough to complete.
2nd down and 10 at the 16. And Maloney looks to throw again. Fires middle. It is caught and then dropped.
That was Cockrell across the middle.
Not able to haul it in.
He had a lot of white jerseys around him. But Maloney slings it in there. And it's one he feels, I'm sure, like he should have got.
I'm sure he would agree with you. So it is 3rd down and 10 for the Purple Raiders from their 16.
A couple of pass plays go incomplete.
And Maloney to throw. Ball in the air towards the sideline. It's going to sail out of bounds. It'll be 4th down.
Just can't get the touch on those passes. And again, it was good coverage downfield. And Maloney just didn't have a whole lot there and decided to chuck it out of bounds.
So it's 4th and 10.
And a big stand there by John Carroll. I mean, Mount would typically get a drive going here, take time off the clock, but they go 3 and out. And now it requires a good punt.
Shane Lindstrom back deep for John Carroll to let this hit and take a Mount Union roll.
Nice roll.
And that is going to be blown dead back near the 27.
Got an idea, that ball was rolling because the wind was pushing it on the ground. That gives you an idea of what the wind is like.
12 and a half minutes left. And John Carroll gets the ball back and will start at their own 27.
What's incredible about that score, 7-7, and here's Semptimpheller's numbers, 16 of 24, 178 yards and a touchdown. But what's incredible is Mount, scoring on its very first play, has been shut out since, and not too many teams are capable of doing that.
Klimack, the running back to the right of Semptimphelder on first down. Look to throw, fires, caught, tight end, crossing the 30, and rolls forward to the 35.
Cooper's probably saying as he's holding on, help somebody, help. I can't do it myself, but he did. He hit him in a spot where he dragged Cooper for another yard, but that was about it.
Yeah, we talked about Rawls in the first half, 6'4", 230. Big target, and that's a pickup of 8 on first down. 2nd and 2 from the 35. It's going to be a handoff, no, a fake, and a toss out to Klimack. And Klimack is cut down after a pickup of a yard to the 36. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 1.
I believe that was Thrasivulu who made the stop. Good fake there. And yeah, Thrasivulu was the one who made the contact first. Kept him short of the front stick.
Ball is at the 36. It's 3rd and 1 now for John Carroll.
Three of 8 on 3rd downs they are, but now they are 4 of 9.
And that's Quincy Newsome picking up yardage, running on that right side. Takes it to the 40. First down for the Blue Streaks.
They have been 57% on the season on 3rd down conversions, and this is a big one. They pick it up.
Keep the ball. Clock continues to run. There's a close look at Quincy Newsome, the junior running back out of Twinsburg, Ohio. All at the 40. And Semptimphelder to throw. Chased out, running to the right, and he'll run out.
Boy, good coverage downfield, but also what a job by the John Carroll offense. The line, I'm not sure exactly who made the stop, but they were coming on a blitz, and they picked it up beautifully, but there just wasn't anything else downfield either.
Yeah,
oh, that's Cruz. Watch Cruz coming in, and then he gets picked up nicely. But there's nothing downfield, and Semptimphelder just had to run it out of bounds.
Yeah, he is, by choice, not much of a runner. So no gain, as they say, he went out at the 40, so it's 2nd and 10. And another pass, fires, diving catch made. Right near midfield, reception for Tyron Montgomery.
Well, Montgomery made the catch, but they're not giving him the first down.
And he signals to come out of the game momentarily. Looks like.
3rd and short. They need to get the midfield.
Looks like Montgomery's being treated for a cramp over there, leg cramp. 3rd down and a yard at the 49. And the handoff straight ahead. It's going to be another first down. Nemo Jenkins on the carry into Mount Union territory to the 48. Straight ahead. That offensive line giving him just enough room to pick it up. Under 9 minutes to go. Clock running. From the Mount Union 48, 1st and 10.
Well, this is effective for John Carroll. Now they need points, obviously, but they are taking lots of time off the clock, keeping the Mount offense off the field.
And off again. And fighting for yardage. Jenkins powers his way to the 45. That's 3 yards on first down. Jenkins a little bigger back as well.
Well, John Carroll here, again, interested in any kind of points, and if they can take a lot of time off the clock, it increases their chances to win this one.
From the 45, 2nd and 7. And Septenfelder to throw. Going for the home run ball down the sideline. And incomplete.
Wow, he was there. He beat his man. That was Montgomery, who is usually very reliable, and he tried to stop and get to the ball, but again, Septenfelder's under pressure here, and he just barely gets this ball away, but does. And Montgomery just couldn't turn and make the catch.
And his feet kind of came out from under him as well. Here's a big play on 3rd down. Every 3rd down's a big play.
We've been saying that a lot.
Yeah, we sure have. 3rd and 7 at the 45 of Mount Union. Purple Raider fans on the far side up and cheering on the defense. Here comes pressure. Ball in the air. And incomplete. On that Mount Union sideline down near the 30. Pass intended for Shane Lindstrom.
Yeah, Lindstrom was the intended, and defending was Anderson on the play. Ball was thrown well out of bounds, so whatever contact there was incidental. And so John Carroll will try to pin Mount Union deep here. Good rush by Caleb Brown to force the errant throw.
Schuckert to punt, standing at his own 40. Ashby back deep for the Purple Raiders. Just shy of his own 10. Good snap, good kick. Boy, he hammered that one. That is going to hit and skip out of bounds inside the 10.
Boy, he had the right English on that one. It's going to be the 6-yard line, or maybe the 7. 7-yard line of scrimmage from Mount. They've got to go 93 yards. And so far, they haven't been able to get a whole lot going here in the second half.
7.5 minutes to go. Cloudy, cold afternoon, windy as well here in Alliance, Ohio. Carroll Stadium, home of the Mount Union Purple Raiders. They've got it at the 7. 1st and 10. Williams back in at running back to the left of Maloney. Maloney, delay handoff. This is Williams. Williams crosses the 10 and gets close to the 13.
It's good 1st down yardage, given the position on the field to pick up 5. Go with the draw.
Ball at the 13.
Williams with 12 attempts, 36 yards.
They call it 2nd and 4. Maloney to throw. Gives it off to Williams rather.
Nothing there.
Got away,
but
not able to gain much out of it.
I'd given up on the play. He didn't, though.
So got back to the line of scrimmage when it looked for sure like he was going to lose at least a yard. He can pop out there.
Well, we've talked about big 3rd downs. Here we are again.
3rd and 4 for the Purple Raiders. At their own 18. Thomas back in at running back to the left of Maloney. And Maloney to throw. Fires, and it's caught out across the 25 near the 30.
That's Cockrell.
Jacob Cockrell, the senior wideout. Stockbridge, Georgia with the reception.
So a big 3rd down conversion there as Mount moves the sticks, gets out of the hole, and they'll put the ball in play at about the 28.
Big 3rd down conversion for the Purple Raiders. They'll keep the football as we are now under 6 minutes left. Empty backfield this time for Maloney. Now they'll move the running back Williams, and a man in motion. Toss out, Turner. Some space, Turner 35-40. Breaks one tackle, 45, and then run out of bounds. It's a 1st down, Purple Raiders.
He got turned there. I thought maybe there was a face mask, but apparently that was not the case. Nobody's complaining. But as you look at this again, he gets turned right there. But no, it was. That was a good non-call. Got turned by the arm on the shoulder. But it is a 1st down and a nice catch and run by Turner.
He's had a big day.
Yep, 7 receptions for 119 yards and a touchdown. Of course, one of them was an 85-yard.
First and 10 at the 47 for the Purple Raiders. And Maloney delayed handoff. Williams fights for yardage. John Carroll trying to rip that ball out.
A lot of ball hawking going on there.
2-yard gain in the end. To the 49.
One of the ways you negate the pressure is to go on these delays, but John Carroll had it pretty well diagnosed, and now looking at a 2nd and 8, still in Mount Union territory, trying to get across the 50.
4.5 minutes to go. Clock runs from the 49. Maloney, here comes pressure, sidesteps one man in trouble, he'll go down. Back at the 44.
Good pursuit. It looked like he was going to get away, but coming up to make the tackle was Joe Timmons. And sets up a 3rd and long for Mount Union. Good pressure.
You know what? He was hit in the face by the defender as he went by. And I saw he looked a little shaken. He just, as the defender was going by, he kind of reached back and kind of hit him across the helmet, across the front. It's 3rd down and 13 at the 44. Protection. Maloney looks, he'll keep straight ahead, and he's knocked down near midfield. It'll bring up 4th down and 7 for the Purple Raiders.
They were just covered downfield, and Maloney didn't have much to go with. He's still going to his face. It looks like he did get whacked on that previous play. He tries to take it up the middle, but he gets stopped.
And Mount Union will punt. Shane Lindstrom drops back for John Carroll inside his 15. Franklin to punt from the 40. Lets it fly. Lindstrom going to let it hit. And it's going to be knocked down near the 1-yard line.
I'm going to say right at the 1.
That was Darnell Williams. And inside the 1, Harry.
He made a diving save there, as this ball does chuck up right there, and then takes the forward roll, but Williams grabs it at the 1.
For an injured return team player.
I think that's Williams who is down.
It is Williams who's down. Makes the play, but paying the price. 2:53 to go, and John Carroll has it at its own 1. We've had some memorable games between these two teams, and I think this one might hit the memory bank as well, depending on how it ends.
Yeah. We thought we were going to see an offensive shootout here today, and it's been the complete opposite.
Yeah, that's pretty serious looking hobble there.
Yeah, it is. Get him to the sideline. The ball is marked just inside the 1.
Anything can happen here. You go back to pass, you get a holding call, it's a safety, you get all kinds of alternatives, but it could also help the offensive line.
Running back is Jenkins to the right of Septenfeld. Give to Jenkins. With a little bit of running room. He'll carry out to the 5-yard line.
They gave him some breathing room, and not a bad play on 1st down.
4-yard pickup.
Both teams with their full allotment of timeouts. 3 apiece with 2.5 to go.
2nd down and 6 coming up for the Blue Streaks. Ball's at the 5. And continues to blow across the field towards the camera side. Quick pass. Catch is made. Down the sideline and shoved out of bounds is Montgomery, but not until he gets it out across the 20.
Well, the defender, that was Levac, fell down, and that resulted in Anderson being the only guy that could get to him. And that was
This is a 2-minute
well
timeout.
downfield. So John Carroll gets that necessary first down. Got it to the 21-yard line. 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. There we see it. 2 minutes to go. John Carroll on the move, but it's from their own 21-yard line. They were able to get out from their own 1. And ideally, what they're looking to have is a touchdown drive here with no time remaining and not put the ball back in the hands of Mount Union. That's the ideal situation for John Carroll.
Following the 2-minute timeout, there's a pass, and it's broken up out at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, Weston Arthur with the knockaway and then stood over the receiver.
That pass intended for number 29, Nico McBride.
As we look again, makes the breakup and signals that it is indeed incomplete.
All right, second down and 10. 21-yard line. Third round of the Division III playoffs. The winner advances to the quarterfinals. There's a throw and a catch is made. Out to 35, that's Lindstrom.
Lindstrom with the catch, Thasivulu with the hit, but he drove him back. He got in front of the front stick and got the first down.
Timeout for an injured offensive player. There's no option for a 10-second runoff due to a first down.
Tight end number 13, Kenneth Rawls.
Rawls is
hops
hobbling
off.
Yeah.
Maybe a cramp or.
I'd like to see him back in the lineup, I'm sure. He could be a weapon on this drive.
Looking at his right leg. All right, first down conversion there for John Carroll, and they've got it at their own 35-yard line. Clock running. Both teams with their full complement of timeouts as we head into the final moments. Felder to the throw. Looks, fires, middle. Incomplete at midfield. Not able to hang on. Koza.
There's Earhart defending for Mount Union. Mount needs to watch that demonstrative. After they've made the big play, they're kind of flirting with the taunting, and you really don't want that in this situation.
Right, not at all.
Got to make the big play. You're all emotional, that's for sure, but watch the taunting.
Mount Union has been hurt with the passes over the middle, right in the middle of the field all day. Second and 10 at the 35. Felder to throw. Pressured. And it's caught. Catch is made at the 48-yard line.
Boy, that ball looked like it was staying up forever, but it was a great catch by Lindstrom, who has been instrumental in the second half of making nice catches. As Felder found him wide open on the sideline, and he did get the feet down.
You can see that John Carroll sideline excited for that play. And they are at the 49 of Mount Union with a first down and 10.
They're moving ever closer to the field goal position.
Felder to the throw. Here comes pressure. And he's going to be dropped back inside the 45-yard line. Caleb Brown.
Yep. Caleb Brown came from the blind side, went high. They eventually brought him down, and now John Carroll's going to call timeout with 1:01 to go.
Timeout. John Carroll, first charge timeout of the half.
Harry, did you see the jump that Brown had on that snap?
Yeah, he really timed it perfectly.
Shot out of a cannon and comes up with a huge play for the Purple Raiders. now it's going to be second down and long for John Carroll out of this timeout.
They're dialing up. They're looking at trying to dial something up offensively that'll get them into field goal range. There's Caleb Brown with some nice stats in this one.
For sure.
You know, while we have the chance, I want to pass along congratulations to Matt Campbell. Matt Campbell, of course, a Mount Union graduate who went from Iowa State to Penn State in the last day or so. He will be the new coach of the Nittany Lions, and that's quite an accomplishment by Matt Campbell, who we had a chance to see play right here in this stadium. And also he coached here for Larry Harris for a time as well. And also Jason Campbell going from Toledo to Connecticut, as we understand.
Second down and 18 at the 43. John Carroll still with 2 timeouts. Mount Union has all 3. That's the Felder to throw. Here comes the blitz. He'll throw. Middle. Caught. Montgomery has it. And he is going to be knocked down inside the Purple Raiders' 45-yard line.
But boy, did they get a nice chunk of yardage back to the 43. It's going to be 3rd and 4.
John Carroll. Second charge timeout.
Second timeout for John Carroll.
Ball is at the 43, and after the timeout, we will have a 3rd down and 4. And what an afternoon Tyron Montgomery has had for the Blue Streaks.
They really only need another 10 yards or so to get into what would be a possible game-winning field goal situation, or game-leading, depending on how much time is left.
Right. Well, this has been something else.
These 2 teams battling, and the loser, unfortunately, this season is over. That's Schuler with a 46-yard field goal as his long. Right now, as we speak, it would be 60. He probably needs another, like I said, 10, 15 yards to make it realistic.
Yeah, he's 12 out of 15 on the year. 3rd down and 4 from the 43. Tempton Felder to throw. Here comes the pressure, and it's caught. Montgomery has it. It's going to be a 1st down at the 35 of the Purple Raiders. Quickly up to the line.
They may just chuck it here, try to save some time. They do.
It is. Wait a minute, we have a flag coming in on the far side. It's going to go against John Carroll.
They weren't set, perhaps, when they snapped the ball.
That would appear to be the call.
Line of scrimmage was the 35.
Here's the call.
Encroachment. Offense lined up across the neutral zone. It's a 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. This foul includes an option for the 10-second runoff. Please reset the game clock to 35 seconds.
So now at the 40.
Clock will start on my signal.
1st and 15. Man in motion. Tempton Felder to throw. Looking, chased, and he'll throw it away. Good pressure that time by Mount Union's Keenan Cruz, number 30.
That was the key, was the pressure. I'm looking, I thought I saw a flag, but I did not. So it is just an incomplete pass. And sets up a 2nd and 15 with 27 seconds remaining. 1 timeout remaining for John Carroll.
John Carroll, yeah. I was going to say they have 1 timeout in their back pocket. 2nd down, 15. Play clock is at 5. They have to hurry to get this off. Play clock at 1. They did not. They had to call the timeout.
Yep, they did call it.
Timeout.
I could hear the John Carroll coaches all the way down the press box screaming, "Take it, take it!"
Yeah, they didn't want to look at another 5 yards there, because
exactly.
The yardage is precious, especially when you're trying to maybe kick the game-winning field goal.
Boy, that's a tough spot. don't want to use that last timeout.
Now
Save it for the kicking opportunity, if nothing else.
Yeah, that's right. Now you may be looking at you better be talking to your field goal kicking unit that we may have to do the Chinese fire drill or whatever to get out there and set things up.
Yeah, I think they're ready to go. So we'll reset. It's 2nd and 15. And the ball is at the Mount Union 40 in a 7-7 game. There's Jeff Dart, head coach, Purple Raiders.
Well, this has been masterful by John Carroll when you think about it. They have the ball at their own 1. And here they are, still with the football.
And 7 seconds left. Felder to throw, looking, here comes pressure. He's going to keep it, and he's spun down inside the 35 to the 34.
The clock will run.
Right now you're looking at a 51-yard kick to get everybody lined up, and they will spike it there with 10 seconds left.
And it'll be 3rd down.
Yeah, this is going to be a 5th.
Or is this 4th down?
51 yards.
I'm sorry. I correct myself. With the spike, it's going to be 4th down.
And I think with these conditions, you're going to go for it.
I think
with the wind and everything else, and just the pure length of the kick. 4th and 9 from the 34 with 10 seconds left.
Got to put the pressure on, obviously.
They've nearly had Kempfenfelder several times on this drive. Here comes the pressure. He's in trouble. He'll look. He'll throw. Caught. And knocked out of bounds.
With 2 seconds to go.
And a 1-yard gain after all is said and done to the 33. And now you give it a shot, right?
Well, it's up to Mount, right?
Oh, that's right. My apologies. That was 4th down.
It's up to Mount for the Hail Mary or to just kneel it down and go into overtime. Here's the throw. Good pressure by the Purple Raiders, and a bobble and a catch by Nemo Jenkins. And here comes Mikey Maloney. And it's kneel down formation, and we are going to go overtime. Wow.
Who'd have thunk
At the end of the 4th quarter.
So we've decided nothing after 4 quarters of play here from Carroll Stadium, and we'll be back with overtime. But first, we'll pause for this. Well, here we are at Carroll Stadium, and there you see Jeff Dart talking it over with one of the officials. We have a coin flip coming for this overtime period, and of course, again, the rules continue to change in OT, but essentially each team will have a chance from the 25-yard line. And if they're tied after the first overtime, we go into the second overtime, there has to be a 2-point conversion attempt. So that comes into play if it does go into that second overtime. And it's interesting when you win the flip, a lot of the teams like to take the defense first. Let's go down and see if we can pick up the official.
Gentlemen, you've reached overtime. So, as a result, we will have alternating possessions from the 25-yard line. If the defense scores first, the game is over. Each team gets a timeout per overtime period for the first and second overtime period. Starting in the third overtime period, you have a single timeout for the duration of all overtime periods. And starting with the second overtime period, you have to go for 2. The third overtime period is alternating tries from the 3-yard line. John Carroll, you're the visitor. The official's heads, the football's tails. What's your call?
Heads.
Heads is called. It is heads. You've won the toss.
Defense first.
John Carroll played defense first. Which end of the field are we playing on? You have to choose. Okay.
Okay, there you have it.
John Carroll has won the toss and elected to play defense. We'll play at the north end zone. It'll be 1st and 10, Mountain Union at the 25.
So John Carroll did win the toss and elected to play defense, which is usually what you hear coaches. They want to know what they have to do when they get the ball. So
it's usually seen as the advantage.
Right. So if Mount would happen to score a touchdown, John Carroll's got to match the touchdown. If Mount kicks the field goal, then you're making a decision as to whether if you score the touchdown, you win the game. If you don't advance the ball, you might kick the field goal and try to tie it. So all kinds of stuff goes into this. Mount has not been in an overtime game for a long time. They did have an overtime in a playoff game against Muhlenberg in 2021, which they won. But this particular crew doesn't really have the experience at OT. We'll see what happens.
All right, 1st and 10 at the 25. Maloney looks to throw. Now chased, he'll keep, and he'll go down. That'll be a sack. Back close to the 27.
They've been able to contain Mikey Maloney, who is a good runner as well as passer, and he was a good example on a 1st down play in overtime. They're looking at 2nd and 11.
That was Davon Badley, a sophomore linebacker, on the stop for John Carroll. To think that Mount Union scored on their first offensive play of the game, and they've been shut out since. 2nd and 12 from the 27. Williams is the running back. Loney looks to throw, fires. Turner has it, and Turner is smacked down, but the catch is made at the 20. That is a pickup of 7 yards. It'll bring up 3rd and 5.
That was Adam LeCarte coming in and making that hit.
That was a big hit. A big 3rd down from the 20-yard line. Maloney will lead the offense. Play clock is at 10. As you see it tick down. Game clock no longer a factor. Maloney to throw. Looks. Fires. Middle. And broken up in the end zone.
He was trying to hit Steele, but no, that wasn't Steele.
Yes, it was. Wyatt Steele.
It was Wyatt Steele. He was a nice target for touchdowns in the end zone, but he was knocked away. He was triple teamed on the play. And he just couldn't come up with it. So it's going to be a 3-point attempt for Marish.
You're looking at a 37-yard field goal try. Ivan Marish. Franklin is the punter. He's the holder. Kick is blocked. It is blocked.
The snap was a little low. He had to twirl it around, and they just couldn't get enough on it. And John Carroll with a big block now. All they need is a field goal to win it.
Here's the replay. I think the holder did a good job of getting the snap ready.
He did. But a nice job of blocking the field goal by John Carroll. So here we go. Now it'll be John Carroll with its opportunity.
Looked like the defender was able to split the gap, came right in through the middle to get a hand on that one. So John Carroll now with a chance to win it from the 25. Felder, the quarterback. The running back is Jenkins. Tight formation here, Harry.
Yeah, it looks like a run, but
it's going to be Jenkins. Sweeps. Jenkins cuts it inside. And a good carry, close to 6, inside the 20.
Well, they have enough confidence in their kicker, I think, that they will not risk too much here. They're in his range right now.
Well, that definitely was a run formation. Now they bring the 2 receivers back in, Lindstrom and Montgomery. They're going to put the ball just inside the 20. 2nd and 5. Receivers out to the right. Now shift. Let's see if they throw it here. Felder gives it off. Jenkins sweeping. Jenkins turns the corner and is shoved out inside the 10.
So they were lined up like, yeah, maybe we are going to throw it, and they kind of cleared out that side of the field, and all it took was one block, and there you see it. And a nice stiff arm picking up another couple of yards, and the ball now inside the 10 for John Carroll. Knocking on the door.
At the 9. 1st and goal. John Carroll can win it with any type of a score. Give to Jenkins, sweeping to the left. Jenkins is dragged down from behind. May have lost a half a yard.
Good work there by Mount Union's Earhart, coming over to make the stop.
Ball marked just inside the 10 once again.
Kind of go into a no-risk offense here if you can. Because it only takes 3 to win it.
It was a nice play by Earhart. He came flying in there to pull Jenkins down. 2nd and goal. Just inside the 10. Jenkins shifts up and lines behind Felder, now in motion. It's Montgomery on a pitch. Montgomery turns to the 10, to the 5, and reaches for the end zone. He's down near the 2.
That's a nice play, and again, there was great blocking as Montgomery lined up there to your left.
Timeout for an injured offensive player.
He's going to come off.
He got pretty close.
He did reach for it. The ball is at the 1. John Carroll 1 yard away from advancing in the playoffs. Quickly up to the line.
And that's for Jenkins.
Jenkins to climax the running backs. Give to Jenkins. No, fake. And it's incomplete. The ball was tipped.
Now the thinking there was, well, yeah, Weston Arthur makes the play. They figured, all right, we'll try to trick them, not run, throw the ball, and we'll try the field goal to win it. Nice play by Arthur there.
So here is Colin Schuler. This will be an 18-yard field goal.
Closer than he's used to.
And a timeout.
Timeout. Mount Union. 1st and only timeout.
They got a little bit of a warm-up there.
Yeah, they did.
So Mount thinking, well, you know, our best shot and maybe only shot is to block it. How are we going to do it?
So Colin Schuler, the place kicker, is a junior out of New Albany High School in Westerville, Ohio.
He can be the hero.
Can be the hero here. There is Jeff Behrman, the head coach. His team now will line up for a field goal that would win it for the Blue Streaks. 18 yards. The holder is the punter, Shuckert. Kick up, kick on its way. It hits the left upright, no good.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And you see the student section in the end zone going nuts.
10 at the 25.
Can you believe it? And we're going to go to double overtime. That ball hit the left upright and came back into the playing area. And now John Carroll will get it on offense again. Perfect angle here for him.
Yep. As you look again in slow-mo, there you see the ball traveling and hitting it's a doinker. I don't know, maybe it didn't. Maybe it didn't. Yeah, I think it doinked and went astray. So we're going to go into a second overtime, and Mount dodges a giant bullet.
Can you believe that? Well, Mount Union missed 2 field goals in the first half.
And had one blocked here in overtime.
Yeah. And Schuler misses a game-winning attempt just moments ago.
So Mount will regroup. We'll go to the other end. And this time, the ball will be at the 25-yard line. I think they have to go to the other end to do that.
Well, they're calling them back down to the north end zone. Looks like.
Oh, okay, they don't switch on this thing.
And it's funny because a large chunk of the Mount Union students who were in the end zone were on the run trying to get down to the other end zone, and now they're turning around and going back the other way. That's funny.
Wait a minute, what are we doing here?
Well, it's first and 10.
Yeah, there it is. That's John Carroll with the ball first.
Yeah, they get the ball first this time.
Okay.
Alternating possession.
There we go.
Jenkins remains in at running back. First and 10. Give to Jenkins, straight ahead. Jenkins cut down after a short gain, close to the 22. They'll actually set it down to 23, so 2 yards on that carry.
What a game.
For 7-7, right. You can't pack this much excitement in a 7-7 game. It doesn't seem right, does it? 2nd and 8 at the 23. Felder, Jenkins on his right hip. He'll get it, sweeping left. And he is knocked down after a yard pickup to the 22, so it'll be 3rd down and 7. Now you also, well, we'll watch this play first.
He makes a good cut. If he'd have cut it to the outside, might have been a different result. But typically, that's where your blocking is, and he followed his blocking. Nice defensive play by Weston Arthur.
I was about to say, if you're John Carroll, you've got to be worried about the confidence level of your place kicker now. It's 3rd down and 7. Felder to throw, goes to the corner and broken up near the yard line.
Well, good defensive work there by Jason Anderson. He's been busy, and he made a big play there. And now John Carroll's going to try for the 3.
Owen Ellison, a freshman wide receiver, was the target. And great timing. Anderson to break it up.
It was. So this will be 39 yards.
Yes, sir. Here's Schuler with another chance for John Carroll. Kick is on its way, and the kick is good.
Wow. So he misses an 18-yarder and then connects on that one. So John Carroll takes the lead, and Mount needs to match or win it with a touchdown.
Right. 10-7. John Carroll on top here in the 2nd overtime. There's another look. Plenty of height, plenty of distance on that one. No doubt about it. There is redshirt freshman quarterback Mikey Maloney in the middle of that offense. Here we go. Purple Raiders. at the 25, 1st and 10.
Williams appears to be okay. Remember, he came off the field after downing a punt.
And he's in the backfield, as is Thomas, with Maloney. Put Williams in motion. Give it to Thomas, trying to get outside. Thomas breaks one tackle, falls forward. Flag comes in. Picked up 1 on the carry to the 24, but there is a flag. Only where you get a holding call. Let's see, maybe not.
I didn't see anybody in the vicinity to hold. I thought, no, we'll see.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense number 9. Penalty being forced half the distance for the goal. Results in an automatic first down.
That's what I saw. Again, as you look, as Thomas cuts to his left.
Oh,
right there.
Yeah, you saw his head drop down briefly. From the 12. 1st and 10. Thomas in the backfield. Maloney going to try to keep it, and he's in trouble. He'll be dropped down. Ball comes out, but they're going to say he was down.
Well, Mount got the recovery. It was Thomas who fell on the football. But they say his forward progress was stopped. But again, a great defensive play. Maloney has not been able to get free on trying to run the football. Has a perfect read there by Badley.
Yep. He's had a big game.
And that sets up a second
timeout. John Carroll.
Oh, John
Carroll's challenge of the ruling on the previous play that the runner was down prior to the ball coming loose.
Wow.
Well, but regardless, Mount came up with the football, so it's just a matter of yardage.
Are you sure?
Well, that's what I saw. I don't know. I guess I couldn't.
I'm
starting to scratch my head a little bit based on that.
I wonder if we can get another look and see who recovered that fumble.
It was Thomas. Thomas ended up with it. Now, whether that happened.
I'm going to say he was elbow down. Yeah, then the ball came out. Elbow was down, it looked like.
See, and there is.
Thomas is there, but does he have it?
No,
it looks like maybe
he comes away with it, but
okay.
Whether or not, I mean, we'll see if you continue. He does come away with the ball, but yeah, okay. So we'll see. Officials will have to sort it out.
I think you're going to see that they're going to say he was down. It looked like the
elbow
hit,
and then the ball came,
and then the ball popped out. But we'll see. We are in our second overtime. I'll give you another look from a different angle.
He puts his right hand down, left elbow comes, and then the ball comes out. So that I would have to think the elbow hit before the ball came out. And then, yeah, see, Thomas has the ball.
I see him come out of there, but was that player injured? Did he take it away?
I don't know.
I'm glad I don't have to make that decision.
After further review, the ruling on the field is upheld. The runner was down. It'll be second down.
Okay, that solves everything. I think that was the right call.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about who recovered it.
Right. So it is 2nd and 13 now, or 14. They can get the first down without scoring.
First down would be down near the 2. Second and 14 from the 16.
John Carroll has been charged your timeout, and they are out of challenges for the remainder of the game.
Ball is at the 16. Thomas to the right of Maloney. Here comes the pressure. Maloney's going to keep. Maloney to the 10. And he's knocked down as he takes it to the 8. It'll bring up 3rd down and about 6.
So once again, he needs the 2 for the first down. And they're certainly within range of a field goal. But they want to win it here if they can.
Multiple substitutions on offense for the Purple Raiders. 3rd and 6 from the 8. Now a big shift. Williams in the backfield. Now he'll go in motion. Maloney looking. He'll keep it to the 5 and dives forward.
Did not get the 2.
He did not. He is going to be marked down at the 4. Do you risk the field goal try here?
I don't know. That's why coaches are coaches and broadcasters are broadcasters.
Mount Union only charge timeout of the timeout period available.
They are so close, and do you roll the dice? You're 2 yards away from the first down. Well, actually, a yard and a half from the first down, and 4 yards away from the touchdown.
Yeah.
But if you fail, it's over.
It's 4th down, and again, you've got a pretty strong wind that is going to affect a kick, no matter what they do.
Field goals have been an adventure today for both teams.
Sure have. We haven't had a successful one.
No, in OT.
In the overtime, right? That's right, in the overtime. You're right.
So Jeff Dart.
And we had one that looked for sure it was a chip shot from 18 yards, and we didn't get a successful kick.
Mount's going to go for it.
They're going to go for it. They need, as Harry mentioned, about a yard and a half. Just inside the 5. They've got to get to the 2. Does Maloney keep it? We'll see. He's run the last 2 times. Looking. He is going to keep. Maloney. He is stopped. He is stopped. And that's the game.
Rolling on the field as the runner was down short of the line to gain. That's the end of overtime.
John Carroll has done it. They beat Mount Union at Mount Union to advance to the quarterfinals. And the celebration is on. It's a similar celebration to what we saw in 2016, which is the last time that John Carroll defeated Mount Union, and it was right here at this very stadium. Mount did not score after scoring on their first offensive play of the game. And there's a lot of things that you can say about that, but it was John Carroll's defense that came through, and on that very last play, they came through to stop Mount Union and win it in overtime 10-7.
What a game. What a game.
Doesn't happen very often, but when it does, teams have the big celebration as we watch this final play. Maloney on the quarterback draw, but John Carroll had it sniffed out. And it was number 13 for John Carroll, Kenneth Rawls.
No, actually, it was.
No, I'm sorry,
Grobelsack.
Kenny Grobelsack. Sorry about that. That's the offensive player that wears 13. Makes the stop and wins the game for John Carroll.
What a game. Double overtime.
10-7 the final, and we will be back after this. Okay, we're back at Carroll Stadium. The final, John Carroll 10, Mount Union 7, and Mount Union exits here in the 3rd round of the playoffs. John Carroll getting the job done. They got the big defensive plays when they needed it. They stopped Mount Union in the red zone. They had a nice overtime where they could have won it actually in the first overtime, but missed a chip shot field goal. And then they end up winning it on this 39-yard field goal by Schuler. And it was a beauty. This one went right between the uprights and good to give John Carroll Mount 4th and 2 at the 4. They go for it and do not convert. And that's the difference in the ball game. John Carroll will advance to play presumably Barry. Barry was leading Trinity 22-0 at the half. Don't have an update on that, but looks like it's going to be John Carroll and Barry. And Mount Union will exit a bit early, but again, how about that Mount Union getting into the playoffs again for yet another playoff run? But this time it was an old rival, John Carroll, that cut it short, and they win it 10-7. So that about wraps it up. Speaking on behalf of Dave Sheets, Dave, thanks for being our play-by-play man today. For Nate LaRisha, for Dean Marini and the Image Video crew, I'm Harry Paytas saying so long, everybody, from Alliance.